Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video is about solving the 4x4x4 Rubiks Revenge. I recommend that you know how to solve the 3x3 first before going on to the 4x4 because having the basic knowledge of the 3x3 makes solving the 4x4 easier. The notations for this is also the same as the 3x3 but there are additions. So F would be turn the front face clockwise, U prime would turn the upper face counterclockwise, L2 would turn the left side twice, and the additions, which one example would be RW, which means turn the right block clockwise, this outer block or this two layers over here. And then UW prime would mean turn the upper block counterclockwise, and such. Lastly, there are also lowercase notations, which means slice turns. A slice turn, an example would be small l, would be turning the inner layer, this left inner layer, clockwise with respect to the left layer. So R, small r, would be this, slicing, turning this slice clockwise with respect to the right face. So basically, a slice turn of U prime, small u prime, this, would be equal to UW prime and U. It's shorthand notation. And lastly, since there are no fixed centerpieces, we need to know the color scheme in which yellow is always opposite to white, blue will always be opposite to green, and where red is always opposite to the orange side. So now that we have our basics covered, let's go ahead and scramble our cube and let's start solving.
A few moments later.
Okay, so now that we have our scrambled cube, let's go ahead and first solve the white layer or the white centerpieces. So we have to look for the face with the most white centerpieces, and this one has two. This part would be easy and intuitive because doing the white centerpieces would not mean breaking up any other faces. So how do we put this piece right here? We just put it up and not worry about any face being broken because we haven't made one yet. And since we have the three here and the last one here, we can perform the following algorithm: RW, U, and RW prime. And now we have completed our white centerpieces. As I've said before, white will be opposite to yellow according to the color scheme. So this will be where the yellow centerpieces should go. So at this point, the yellow centerpieces are only at 5 possible locations: the yellow face and the other 4 faces. So we have our first already fixed for us. Let's go ahead and place this one here. So how do we do that? We can't just turn this up because we will be breaking up our white centerpiece. So we can perform the algorithm RW, U prime, and RW prime, which basically means put this up and then turn this out of the way and then put it back down. So we have our yellow centerpiece in here and we haven't broken our white centerpieces there. The third one would be here. So we can perform LW prime, U, and LW. So we put it up, move this out of the way, and put it back down. So now we have our third centerpiece in here. The final one, the fourth centerpiece, the orientation should be there is a small J up here, and this yellow centerpiece is at the bottom right. So the algorithm is the same. It's gonna be RW, U, and RW prime in order for us to complete our yellow centerpiece while also maintaining the white centerpieces. So after solving for the white and yellow centerpieces, we need to check the color scheme. So what do? We need to make sure that at least one corner piece with the white color is on the white face, and check the colors on the other two sides. So this white, orange, green means green should go here and the orange should go here. See, white, orange, green, and white, orange, green. So we already have two green pieces for us. So let's go ahead and look for the other two. So there is one here. We can just move this out of the way and put this up and not worry about breaking other pieces. So the last one, it's on the bottom here. So we can put it up, move it out of the way, so when we put it back down, the green centerpieces are fixed. So by checking the color scheme, white, green, orange, our green face is already correct. So now we have to construct the orange face. So how do we do that? So since the green face is over here and the orange face needs to be fixed here, we can do the same algorithm we did for the white-yellow center piece pair. So it's RW, and then we have to move it out of the way, and then put it back to RW prime. So we already have 3 out of the 4 orange pieces while still maintaining the green centerpiece. So since we have the 3 here and the last one over here, we just need to make sure what we did there. We have the J, and this piece should be at the bottom right. So we do RW, U, and RW prime. And now we have fixed our white, green, and orange centerpieces. So our last 2 centerpieces are the blue and the red. Check our color scheme. Green should be here, so which means blue is on the opposite side. So blue needs to go here, and red is the final face. So how do we do that? Since red needs to go here, we can put the red pillars on the right side, and we can just perform the same algorithm, which is RW, but this time it's U2 and RW prime. So now we have all our centerpieces correct. So now that we solve all our centerpieces, let's move on to pairing the 2x1 edge pieces. So first we have to look for a pair that needs to go together. So blue-red, which means we need to go look for the other blue-red piece, so which is over here. Now that it's conveniently placed for us, if one piece is on the top right and the other piece is on the bottom left, we need to perform this algorithm. It is UW, L prime, U prime, L, and UW prime. So if you would notice, these blue-red pieces went together and now they are correct. Our next example would be this blue-white pair over here. If one piece is on the top left and the other one is on the bottom right, we need to perform a different algorithm. It's UW prime, R, U, R prime, and UW. So now we have fixed this white, blue 2x1 edge piece. The next one is that if the 2 pieces are directly across each other, which is this white green and this other white green, so we can perform this algorithm, R, U prime, B prime, and R2, so that this piece would be switched with this other piece, so now it will go to the bottom right. So this would put it in the top left, bottom right situation, which is UW prime, R, U, R prime, and UW. So now this white green is already correct. So after applying all the algorithms to where they should be applied, you will be left with the last 2 edge pairs. So how do we do that? We make sure that this time the edge pieces are directly across each other, meaning this blue-yellow should be across the other blue-yellow, and this red-green should be across this red-green. This is a different algorithm, which is DW, R, F prime, U, R prime, F, and finally DW prime. So doing so, we have fixed these edge pieces. So at this point, this is where we solve the 4x4, much like the 3x3. As you can see, these will be the edge pieces, And this would be the corner pieces, the center pieces. So the first thing we have to do would be solve the white cross. So this one, and put this here. And we have solved the white cross. The next one would be solving for the white corners. So this white, red, green needs to go here. We can just put this out of the way, put this up, put it back and down. So now we have our white, red, green here. The next one would be this white, red, blue. So we make sure it's across the where it's supposed to be. Put it up, turn it out of the way, then put it back down, and then solve it like the white, red, green piece. This next one is the white, blue, orange. We can put it up and then turn it once, put it back down, then turn it out of the way, put this up, put this back and down. So now we have our white, blue, orange in its correct place. This last one is white, green, orange, and it's pretty easy because we've already done that situation before. The next one would be the second and third layer. So we have to look for pieces without the yellow edge piece. So this blue, orange right here, we need to make sure that it's on the blue side. So we need to look at the top color, orange, which is on the left. So I have to turn it on the right. Then we put up the left side, put it to the left, bring it down, face the orange, turn it to the left, bring the right side up, turn it back and down. And now we have successfully inserted this orange blue edge piece in its correct slot. After solving for the second and third layer, let's go ahead and do the yellow cross. So we have to make sure it's a J, and then perform the algorithm F, R, U, R prime, U prime, and F prime. And since it's a bar, we have to do it again. So that would be F, R, U, R prime, U prime, and finally F prime. The next one would be solving for the edge colors. So there is one correct and the other one is over here. So we make sure that one is facing away from us and the other one is to the left. And then we perform this algorithm. It's R, U2, R prime, U prime, R, U prime, R prime, and finally U prime. So now we have solved the edge colors. Green and orange are already correct, which also goes for red and the blue side. So one of the last steps would be making sure that the corners are in their correct places. So since there are none, we can do this algorithm. It's L prime, U, R, U prime, L, U, R prime, and finally U prime. So now we have reached the point where there are there are two, which are in their correct places, and these two are swapped. So which means we have reached a parity. So as to solve this parity where these two pieces are swapped, we need to make sure that they are both facing us, and we have to perform this algorithm. So it's F2, R2, B prime, and then D prime, and then B. We have R2, F prime, U, small, FW2, sorry, and then F, L2, small f2, LW2, small f2, small l2, and finally U prime. So now we have solved our parity. So our next parity is that these 2x1 edge pieces are swapped, like these one, across each other. This white red should go here, while this white orange should, the yellow orange should go here, and the yellow red should go in here. So we need to perform this algorithm, and it goes like small r2, and then u2, small r2, and then UW2, small r2, and finally small u2. And now we have swapped these two edge pieces, and now we have solved our 4x4 again. Our third algorithm is when these two adjacent edges are swapped, and this algorithm is pretty long, and it goes like this. So it's R2, D prime, and then we hold the cube like this, and then small r2, and then u2, small r2, uw2, small r2, small u2, and then we put back, and then D, and finally R2. So this last parity would be that this piece is swapped with this one, so they are diagonally swapped. So this algorithm would go as RW2, small f2, and then u2, fw2, D, RW2, U2, FW2, U prime, FW2, L2, U2, B2, LW2, and finally U. And that's all for the parities of the 4x4 Rubiks Revenge. And that's all for today's video on the Rubiks Revenge. So what did you think? Do you have any comments? Let me know down below. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to know if I posted a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching. D.I.C.E out!